So tonight we're focusing on evaluating expressions. And we're saying evaluating because we're going to plug in values for our variables. So for instance, if you have the expression 3x squared minus 2x, when x equals negative 2. So everywhere we see x, we're going to replace x with negative 2. So that's what this is going to look like. I've got 3 times negative 2 squared minus 2 times negative 2. Notice I always use parentheses. Always use parentheses. Always use them. Because if we have a negative number, you want to make sure that you're saying I'm plugging in a negative number. If we didn't use parentheses, it might look like 3 minus 2 squared, and then we're going to have something completely different using order of operations. So now that we've gotten everything plugged in, wherever our x's are, we're going to use order of operations. So that's that PEMDAS or GEMDAS, looking for grouping symbols. Grouping symbol here and here, but there's nothing to simplify inside that, so we can't do anything. Next thing I ask myself, are there any exponents? Yes, right here. So we have 3 times negative 2 squared, which is a positive 4, minus 2 times negative 2. That's another really important reason why we use parentheses when we plug in a number. If I see negative 2 and then parentheses minus 2 or negative 2, that means that it's saying negative 2 times negative 2. All right, so I did grouping symbols, exponents. Next thing we're looking for is, can we multiply or divide? Yes, we go left to right. 3 times 4 is 12, minus 2 times negative 2. We still have some multiplication right here. 2 times negative 2 is going to be negative 4, but we have minus negative 4. So 12 minus negative 4, you can leave like that. Whenever I see a double negative, I like to make it a positive because minus and negative is the same thing as plus positive. So 12 minus negative 4 is the same as 12 plus 4, which is 16. Another thing we might see is an expression that has more than one different variable. So an example of this would be a squared times b minus b squared. And let's say that a equals 2 and b equals negative 1. So let's plug in what we know. For every a, I'm going to plug in a 2. So I have 2 squared. For every b, I'm going to plug in negative 1. And I always include parentheses. Minus negative 1 squared. Okay, order of operations. So GEMDAS, left to right, left to right. Are there any grouping symbols? Yes. However, in those grouping symbols, we can't really simplify. So the next thing is exponents. Are there exponents? Absolutely. 2 squared gives us 4 times negative 1 minus, here's exponents, negative 1 squared. Well, negative 1 squared is just 1. Negative 1 squared gives us a positive 1, but notice this subtraction still carries down. Now we look for any multiplication division. Yeah, 4 times negative 1 gives us negative 4 minus 1. Add, subtract, let's simplify that up. Negative 4 minus 1 leaves us with negative 5. We're going to do one last example together, and this one's going to have 3 different variables. So I have x squared minus 2 times x minus y minus z cubed. And let's say that x is equal to 2, y is equal to negative 4, and z is equal to negative 3. Okay, let's plug in what we know. For every x, I'm going to put a 2, so I have 2 squared minus 2 times 2 minus y is negative 4. So make sure that that subtraction comes down. Minus negative 3 cubed. Okay, we've got everything substituted. I'm looking for order of operations, so GEMDAS. Remember, the G just means grouping symbols because it could be parentheses, it could be brackets, it could be absolute value signs, it could be a radical. So that's why it's G instead of P now. They really mean the same thing though. And multiply, divide is always left to right, add, subtract, left to right. Are there any grouping symbols? Yes. here. Can't really simplify that. Here, here, but most importantly, we have grouping symbols here. We can absolutely simplify what's inside that. So we have -2 minus -4. Minus a negative is the same thing as plus a positive. So 2 plus 4 gives us 6. Everything else stays the same. Okay. We've completed our grouping symbols. Are there any exponents? Yeah. 2 squared is 4 minus 2 times 6 minus -3 cubed. So that's -3 times -3 times -3 is -27. Notice we did not lose that subtraction sign, so we have a double negative right there. Multiply or divide, can we do that? Yes. 2 times 6 is 12, so we have 4 minus 12. Minus a -27 can just be plus 27. I don't really like to have double negatives, but it's okay if you do. Add, subtract, absolutely. We always go left to right, so even though subtraction is first, that's what we're going to do. 4 minus 12 gives us -8 plus 27, and let's simplify that. And that is just 19. And that's it. Don't forget to complete the 6 practice questions and submit the Google form. Have a great night.